Good evening and welcome to GAC TV News. I'm John Rasmussen.
And I'm Andrew Schmidt. Kitty has the weekend off. GAC TV tonight focuses on this week's controversy involving a painted rock, a resolution passed by Student Senate, and a campus-wide discussion on free speech. I sat down with a few people to get a few opinions on the subject.
On Sunday night, since we were kicking off Coming Out Week, Q&A went to the rock and painted it as a rainbow, just to express the beginning of Coming Out Week. This was around 8 in the evening, and the next morning, by the time we went by the rock, it was painted over completely black with Romans 1:27 painted on it.
And the verse written on the rock reads, "In the same way the men also abandoned natural relations with women and were inflamed with lust for one another. Men committed indecent acts with other men and received themselves the due penalty for their perversion." That's the New International Version. On Monday, after we found out that the rock was repainted, I'd been talking with people throughout the day. The other co-president and I decided that we should repaint the rock. Kind of just like a good response to the rock being repainted, and then, just taking back the pride, So I sent out an email to the group, and then just told as many people as I could to show up, and it was actually a really good turnout. And it was really cool to see the support from the campus at the rock repainting. It was really cool. And then a couple people from our group decided that they wanted to go to Senate and express their feelings about it to them. So with the other co-president and I's permission, they went and talked on behalf of the group.
Student Senate passed the following resolution at the October 11, 2010 meeting. We, the Student Senate of Gustavus Adolphus College, as representatives of the student body, denounce the act of hate that was performed against GLBT people and Q&A as an organization between the hours of 10 p.m. on October 10, 2010 and 8 a.m. on October 11, 2010. We maintain that hate in any form has no place in our community and will not be tolerated.
Student Senate felt like it needed to happen because there hadn't been a response from the college. A lot of students didn't know what was going on. What was happening. A lot of people were hurt, and we felt like a response was needed. And when the students approached us with the resolutions already written for us, we found that we supported the language as it was, and felt that it did a really good job of consoling the students who were feeling hurt by it.
Without necessarily attacking or hurting other individuals at the same time.
I hope that it makes students kind of think before they act, try to use tact in their argumentation, and when they try to prove a point, and to try and think of how their actions will be perceived by the rest of the community. I value argument and debate, and I know Emily does as well, but we want the debate to actually happen and to happen in a civil way, which we did not feel the actions that happened on Monday were in a civil way.
We want people to understand that there are different viewpoints on campus and that they should be shared and that individuals need to be exposed to different perspectives. But at the same time, we need to be conscientious of one another because we are a community and we really want that community feel to be intact. And I think something that Senate really wants to strive to do because of these events is really work to kind of bring the community together again and have some sort of forum, discussion. I think that's something that all senators and Sean and I really want to work on now.
The way I understand it, the purpose of the rock is a place for students or student groups to announce affiliation, to express an opinion, and that there aren't any rules about how long you get to leave something, you get to have something that you've painted on the rock there. That's what the rock is there for. I think they took it back, which I think is wholly appropriate, but I think in doing so, they acknowledged that the rock is there to be painted as an expression of opinion, and that they were reasserting their own claim of pride. And I'm 100% in favor of it. I went out and chatted with them before they repainted it. I think it was exactly the right way to respond. But it's also a response that illustrates that anybody who wants to paint the rock gets to paint the rock. So I don't think there's any question about a group or an individual's right to do it. I I'm worried about the fact that Senate felt comfortable characterizing a citation to a biblical verse as, in the context of the rock, an act of hate. To me, what that verse says, particularly the limitation to that verse of 127, is homosexuality is a sin, and sin is punished. And I think if those words had been written on the rock, homosexuality is a sin, and sins are punished by God and sometimes by man, I think that would be a real stretch to call that hate speech or an act of hate. It's an opinion that I disagree with on the most fundamental levels. I'm just not sure, to me, that it rises to the level of a threat or anything other than an expression of an opinion, which, as far as I can tell, is the reason people paint the rock. I think norms of community and kindness and civility, I think those were violated.
The rock incident has caused quite the controversy on campus and also raised many questions as how we should define civility, community, and free speech. The matter has not been settled and won't be resolved anytime soon. As for now, the question that has been raised is, why can't we be friends?
Our final story this evening focuses on last Sunday's commemoration of 10-10-10 by Amnesty International. It's a national day of protest against the death penalty. Here's Vanessa Condon with more on the story.
For 1 week straight, the entire campus was left curious regarding the posters hung all over the school. They are labeled 10-10-10. 10-10-10, however, is not merely just a date. Instead, it is the International Day Against the Death Penalty.
10-10-10 is World Day Against the Death Penalty.
It's something that Amnesty International is partnering with World Coalition Against the Death Penalty to put on a big awareness event to raise awareness about the death penalty around the world.
Troy Davis is a man who was convicted of murder of a police officer in Georgia. And as it stands right now, he was sentenced to death and placed on death row in Georgia. But the case that they built against him has now proven very weak. There were 9 testimonies that helped convict him, and 7 of the 9 people have now turned their testimony back, saying that the police forced them to testify, and they actually lied in their testimonies. So as of now, he is still on death row.
Amnesty has chosen Troy Davis's case as a sort of focus in their fight against the death penalty because it really illustrates a lot of the things that are wrong with the death penalty, certainly racial bias and essentially an innocent man being potentially put to death.
We're advocating to say we want a fair trial.
The petition for Troy Davis is specifically to get him a new trial so that he can be exonerated and not suffer an unjust and early death.
This petition is not necessarily about one person, it's about many. We're hoping that by understanding that some people are put to death and later have been found to be innocent, we're hoping that maybe people will question the actual merits of having a death roll in general.
Death penalty is the ultimate denial of human rights, and basically what it boils down to for the way we see it is that it's premeditated murder, and we think that under no circumstances is this acceptable.
Because the right to live is one of the major things outlined in the World Declaration of Human Rights.
For more information on Troy Davis's case, simply text Troy Davis to 9099. Reporting from GAC TV News, this is Vanessa Condon.
That's all we have for you this evening. GAC TV will return in 2 weeks before the on-campus showing of Dinner for Schmucks.
From all of us here at GAC TV News, I'm Andrew Schmidt.
And I'm John Rasmussen.
Have a good one, Gustavus.
I wanna rock!
All right, how do I look? Ready?
A little sweaty.
Post-it?
He's eating paper! No!
There's a better place, 1 floor up. Today's the day. I'm gonna get the promotion.
Does that mean this is my new office?
Not yet. I host a dinner once a month.
We can do Saturday.
It's not really a girlfriend type thing. You invite idiots to dinner and make fun of them?
Okay, that is messed up.
I know.
So you told them you're not going?
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely.
Why can't you just suck it up, make fun of some idiots?
Sometimes you have to do the right thing. Are you okay?
Yeah! I saw this little guy in the street and I was trying to save him from masterpieces.
Amazing.
In the words of John Lennon, you may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not.
The only one.
The only what?
That's the lyric. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one.
I don't think so, Tim.
Are you doing the dinner?
I'm sorry. I'll tell him dinner's off. Oh my God.
Let it go!
I feel like I'm in The Shining. Oh my God, my back, my back, my back.
Is it your back? You are tight.
I got in a fight with my girlfriend. I'd appreciate it if you just left.
Who's gonna help you with Julie? Be careful around this guy. He can tell what you're thinking.
I've studied the human mind. I've learned how to read it and ultimately control it.
Oh, I can't move.
Oh, buried move. Just move.
I can't.
Yeah, you can.
I can't.
I release you.
Oh.
All right, dinner's about to start.
There's been a complication.
Julie!
You invited him to that dinner to impress your boss.
He's a sweet guy, but he's a tornado of destruction.
Are you sure you want to do this?
That's what friends do.
Tim, I'd like to introduce my friend Louis and his wife Diane.
Your wife?
For now.
Oh. Dinner is served.
Mind control.
I am very, very powerful.
Best dinner ever.
Sometimes I think you think I'm an idiot.
Just stay in the chair.
Tim!